What's going on, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Digimon Ghost Game episode review and recap. It is episode 20, and episode 20 is called Prison of Fire. But before I go any further, and before I forget, please don't forget to give me a like, comment on the video. I'd like to know what you thought of the episode and what you think of my opinions as I sprinkle them throughout the review. And please do not forget to subscribe. And if you are new here, or should I say, if you aren't new here, but even if you are new here, click that notification bell so you can be notified of whenever I go live with more videos like this. Funny enough, currently, Digimon Con is actually going on right this very minute. They've actually just gone on to the anime portion, so I'm probably going to have to play it back just so I can hear the Ghost Game directors, directors and showrunners, because I got to tell you guys, it's kind of funny. I remember saying to myself, man, episode 20, I'll give them to 20. I didn't give them to 20. I finally understood, if not last week, 2 weeks ago, the process of how this show goes. The Digimon that do bad things aren't really going to ever face justice. I mean, think back to Sister Monsieur, which was very out of the ordinary for Sister Monsieur to act that way, and the death race and that stuff. And it's interesting because now with this episode, we have some information that can make you go, hmm. But at the same time, I didn't just go, hmm. I went, you're being irresponsible. Because my stance is not lightened on, in Digimon Ghost Game, in this futuristic world, Digimon are a nuisance. So, allow me to continue. There's a home that is literally on fire. A young man is black flames, and a young man steps out. And he calls to his mother and father. As soon as his hand, reaches out to them, he starts to burn up into ash and just dissolves, and he just dies right in front of them. Of course, where's the black flames going to come from? It's going to come from a Digimon. So, our setting today is Ruli and Hiro with Angoramon and Gammamon. They're at an amusement park. According to Ruli, is an old style amusement park, but there's a bunch of holograms everywhere. And Angoramon even makes makes the observation they can walk around freely and just pretend that they are holograms. Because there's a bunch of hologram animals everywhere. Ruli catches up with her two friends who, notably, when Hiro is cleaning off Gammamon after they get off of a wet ride, one of those log water rides, they're not even like, oh man, that's weird. They pretty much know what's going on, with or without Ruli being smart enough to tell them, even though she was gonna tell them, but they decided to interrupt her and say do it on her own time, but she was gonna tell them anyway. I digress. Gammon is adorable because Hiro's like, what do you want to go on first? He wants to go on the tallest ride. It's the Ferris wheel. They get on the Ferris wheel. And they get on the log ride, like I said, and they're both soaking wet, which is weird because Gammon is still wearing a scarf. So I'm guessing it doesn't get super cold in Japan. But even the attendant is like, can holograms get wet? Because the little bunny hologram that's at the edge of this water ride, this thing, this thing had the sad face when they were going down. But he's like, can holograms get wet? And I'm like, no, you idiot. They can't. They just can't. Meanwhile, outside of Kiyoshiro's window, Jellymon is in the claws of a black Birdramon. Now, this black Birdramon has a name, and no, it is not called Black Birdramon. Tells him, human, get on the roof. And he gets on the roof. And in front of him is another Digimon. Now, Angoramon tells us who they are later on. I'm just going to go ahead and just get to it right now. Which is crazy that Kiyoshiro's, he's still scared, but he's going up there. It's just like, dude, show some backbone. Jellymon's like calling out to you like, darling, like it looks like she's gonna get killed. The first Digimon is Dark. They call him Dark Lizamon, but this is Dark Lizamon or Dark Florizamon, however you want to say it. Dark Lizamon. This guy, right? Oh my goodness, that glare. Look at that. He is one of the older Digimon. Actually, you can see the picture of Florizamon right there. I've always liked the design of Florizamon. I remember as a kid, whenever I would draw Digimon, I would have something that was kind of mimicking Florizamon because I like that metal top on top of this elemental body. a very well designed Digimon, if I do say so myself. Just look at that. Look at that guy. Now you're probably saying yourself, tell us about him. And I will. He is in champion level Digimon. Sometimes he's called a child level. Sometimes he's a rookie. Never seen him be a rookie, but he is a champion level Digimon. A Digimon whose whole body is covered in flames of darkness that burn quietly. It is the form is a form of Flare Lizamon that evolved into a virus type. It has a cool-headed personality. The special move is incinerating the enemy spirit with flames of darkness called Dread Flame. Now here's the funny part. This dude does not have a cool head in this show at all. And here is the Black Birdramon. His name is actually Saberdramon. I promise one day I'm going to have some really cool editing, and this stuff's just going to pop up right there. Let me just show you another picture of this. Yeah, literally just, that's the best one I got. This is probably, no, this is an alternate art from a card, from the original card game in Japan. It's literally just a Black Birdramon. Now, if I can find, oh, someone even did fan art of this on a website that I'm not going to say. But, yeah, interesting. Let me find their file. So, Saberdramon, again, is a champion level Digimon. By the way, Dark Florizamon actually showed up in the anime form one time. It was in Digimon Tamers. It was appeared before Takato and Gilmon, before the what did they call them? The Secret Service squad came in to grab Dark Florizamon and do experiments on how to delete Digimon. Saberdramon has never shown up before in the anime form, but it was in Digimon World. Dark Florizamon was in Digimon World 2, if I believe so. If not World, Digimon World 2. And Saberdramon is a Digimon shrouded in black flames due to the roughness of its temperature, for which it continues counterattacks against enemies to a ferocious degree. It's very difficult to be approached. Its special move is striking from the air with its talons on its feet, called Black Saber, which is true. Unlike Birdramon, at least in this, it didn't really use its wings for flames. It fired a dark fireball, and it did basically a bird rider kick, which looked pretty decent to me. So, these two Digimon are up on that roof, and Florizamon is asking, like, he's looking for Hiro. He uses Hiro's full name, Hiro Amawana-kun, or Amawana whatever, right? We're just gonna call him Hiro. And he's like, no, he's usually with a white Digimon. This isn't him. And Florizamon shoots those black flames we saw in the very first frame of this episode, and goes, yeah, if you don't want him to burn up, you should probably tell us where Hiro is. And Jellymon, her little jelly head's getting squished by the flying Saberdramon in the air. And she tells them, they drop her and they're gonna fly off. And here's the crazy part. She's in the flames with Hiro now. And Florizamon's like, you can leave anytime you want to. And here's the thing. Hiro wakes up and he's like, the flames don't hurt. Give me a second, y'all. So, oops. By the way, she had to shock Kiyo awake, which I thought was going to dispel the flames, but it did not. So, these twin Digimon fly off, and Ruli wants to take, it looks like, I don't remember if it was Ruli, if it was just a woman, want to take a picture of her kid, but I do think it's Ruli. Her and her friends on the merry-go-round, and Angoramon's just chilling about, Hiro and Gammamon around, then suddenly, I really like how he entered. Saberdramon drops him, and Florizamon hits the ground. Now, these two, while not visible to regular people, they still have impact and weight. They have impact and weight on the real world. I'm going to say that one more time. They have impact and weight in the real world. This is going to play a part later on why this episode kind of falls in on itself. So, everybody else can't see anything. They're like, yep, that's Hiro. We see him with that white Digimon. We see him with Gamamon. There's a lot of people here. We can take them as hostages. And as Dark Lizamon is about to use his flames on everyone around, Hero's like, nope, double tap. Double tap on the Digivice gets them to the digital world. Actually, the flames do end up hitting the merry-go-round that Ruli's on. And Angoramon rushed to get to her, but it's like, hey, these flames don't hurt. And this is when Angoramon basically tells us who these Digimon are. Now, in my notes, I am taunting this show. I'm like, oh, so what are you gonna do with these two Digimon that have obviously killed a guy? You're gonna play patty cake with them. You're gonna make him the king of the world at the end of this episode. Is that what you're gonna do? Gamon's like, yeah, it's time for us to digivolve, right? So turns into Winzen Gamamon. They're shooting artillery at them, and where are we at here? And Ruli tries to, get out so they can go help. And then Gormon's like, wait a minute, stop for a minute, stops her. And at the exact same time, Kyo is still in the flames trying to figure this out. And Jellymon's like, why are we still in here? He's like, hold on. Both Angoromon and Kyo both figure out that if you walk out of the flames, that's when you start burning. Because he sticks his hand out and he starts to burn and turn to ash. And Goromon actually threw a rock that instantly just burned into nothing. So now Hiro knows him and Gamamon cannot get caught in these flames. Gets on top of Winston Gamamon, which of course is the four-legged Triceratops one with the rail guns. They're taking off. They're dodging attacks. They're dodging flames. It's basically a reverse prison that they're trying to get away from. And Saberdramon was in there talking about, this is my territory. I guess he was talking about the air, because he's doing the purple flames. He does the Black Saber, the rider kick move I tell you about. And Dark Lizamon ends up catching up to them and tackling Winzen Gamamon, knocking Hiro off of him, but he's like, man, he's fast and he's strong. He ends up lifting him and throwing him, which turns him back into regular Gamamon. And this whole thing is happening because in the very beginning, I kind of skipped over it. Very beginning, they ask him, where's Blacktailmon? He's like, sorry, Blacktailmon. Who's Blacktailmon? He's like, don't act stupid. We've been able to track it, having come to your house several times. And Hiro had to think about it. He remember that the best designed Digimon in this entire show, Blacktailmon, with the hat and the hoodie, hat and himself. He's like, I barely know that Digimon. And they're like, you're gonna summon him and call him right here. He's like, I don't know how to do that. And they call him a liar. And that's when all this starts. So not only do we have, they've killed a guy, they're super aggressive. We don't know why. So Hiro ends up grabbing Gamamon and runs. You do see it seems like he hurt himself, but he grabs him and runs. He shushes Gamamon before he can call to Hiro. And he does tell Hiro, I can walk him on. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. This is much faster. And they're calling out to him, talking about, call Blacktailmon right now. And in my notes, I even wrote, if this becomes a misunderstanding episode, just misunderstanding my butt. So Black Saberdramon still using that rider kick move I'm telling you guys about. And meanwhile, Angoramon and Ruli are trying to get out of that flame prison with Breakstream. They, she had Angoramon turn to Sembira Angoramon. His attack is not dispersing the flames or anything. They're stuck there until they figure something out. And where am I at here? So Hiro does end up admitting to Gamamon that he ended up twisting his ankle. And Gamamon is just looking at him, and Dark Florizamon is over there. We got the blackbird in the sky. And Gamamon's like, Hiro, I can fight. Because Hiro's about to pick him up. He smacks his hand. No, I can fight. We're going to go fight. He's like, but you can't. No. He runs out, headbutts Florizamon. The one thing I will give this show credit for, and I always say, the animation always looks good. It looked good since day one. It's just the makeup of the show is what I tend to have a problem with. But we're having some good fights here. Gamamon is like, I need to be stronger and faster and stronger and faster. And Hiro's inside the digital this digital world upside down place. He's inside of this I guess the souvenir shop or whatever, and his digivice glows super bright, like not just bright enough to be seen, bright enough that it's lighting up the little bit of area that he's in. And Gamamon turns into Battle Gamamon, but he's glowing, and I'm thinking, oh, are you gonna turn into an ultimate to fight these champions? But he doesn't. He's just supercharged. He's moving faster than Florizamon. He's stronger than him. He does a super powerful sword shot. Of course, both Digimon and partner both say the move at the same time. It's pretty dang cool what's going on here, right? And he's even fast enough to dodge the spew of flames that he's doing. And I'm all for it. Like when Gamamon slapped his hand away and went to go fight, I'm like, I'm all go Gamamon go. So Florizamon is again stunned because Gamamon has digivolved twice into two different beings. So at this moment, he's getting claw dragged. He then gets claw dragged like Broly on Goku's face in the first Broly movie onto the ground and ends up changing into his normal Gamma form. He's like, I need to fly. I need to be free. Digivolves again, turns into Chaos Gamamon, takes to the sky. He's moving faster than Saber Dramon, who's talking about this is my territory. He's like, nope. Moves around, goes around him, does his move where he just is like a I almost call it a double edge attack, but he just tackling right into him. And Hiro foolishly comes out of hiding, and Florizamon comes up on him again, and he asks him once more, "Where is Blacktailmon?" And Hiro says, "Why do you want to know so bad?" And there's flames all around them. Really good setting, really good mood, and Dark Florizamon says this world has no place for them. Suddenly they were thrown into this place one day, and Hiro's like, "So you just want to go home?" And he says, "We're just monsters of humans." I'm like, "You killed that guy," but then we get a little reverse on this. Ooh, supposed to be egg on my face, right? Not so much because they tried to help that guy. His house was on fire, and he sees both of them. He's like, monsters, Bakemono. He's like, look, his black flames can protect him from the real flames. And he's like, don't step out of this until we tell you to, okay? Just be calm. And he hears his mom outside. Dude just, of course, he doesn't listen. He reaches out and then he starts burning in front of his parents. And they can see them. And they say, wait, there's two creatures in there. You're monsters. You killed my son. You killed our kid. You get out of here, you monsters. And they're all sad because they were trying to help him. And of course, Saber Dramon carries him off. So, misunderstanding thing, even though here is now, and Hiro does look super remorseful because, um, before I say my point, they say we tried to help the man, and Hiro asks, well, what happened to him? He's like, humans don't turn into Digitama. He's like, damn. If you all were physical, that they could see you, and you were physical enough that you fell from the sky and made an impact loud enough that other people could hear you and even see the imprint, and you were able to control that, why didn't you both just grab the guy and leave out of the house? Why didn't Saber Dramon grab him or grab you and you grab him? You both get out of the house and you land him down and then leave. Why did you have to use the black flames? Digimon are still a nuisance because this is the biggest plot hole in all of this. You're physical enough to hit ground. You're solid enough that they could see you. So why didn't you do a different course of action? It just would have been better if you just didn't do anything. Just let them burn in the house. Just, just saying. Just this is the biggest plot hole in this episode. Just so dumb. And so he still doesn't believe Hiro that he doesn't know where Blacktailmon is. He's like, we just want to go home. And Gamma sees him being creeped up on, so he's fine. He's rushing in. He knows how to control this. He's going in, and Saber Dramon's behind him. He pulls a cool Star Wars move where he slipstrings behind him, hits him, and knocks him down on the ground. and he's coming straight towards Flores, Dark Lizamon. And Hiro's all cool. Hiro's like, yeah, because he knocked out the Saberdramon. And this thing says, I had enough out of you. Just he's giving him a black flame punch, and I'm like, oh, I don't know how you guys gonna get out of this. What's your Deus Ex Machina? Looks like the attack hits him, but Gamamon must have had enough energy or enough willpower or enough ability that watch goes off again, switched out of Kaios Gamamon back into Beto Gamamon, and does another super strong sword blow, right into his gut, like hits him anime style, sends him into the air and back down on the ground. The fight scene, the fight in this episode, really good. Probably the best they've had in a very very long time. Don't even remember what last week's was. Damn, I don't remember what last week's was. See, that's the problem right there. I'm forgetting last week's episode because of how I don't want to say how mundane the structure is, but how kind of meh the structure is. But really good fight, right? So they're both on the ground. They're just like we want to go home, and uh, Hiro's holding Gamamon, who was I guess passed out for a little bit. Opens his eyes. He's like, "Hey, you did a great job." He's like, "Yeah, but I'm really tired." He's like, "Hey, you learned how to turn into the form that you want to. It wasn't a roulette." So he got a bit of a power up, right? I'll get to that in a moment. So suddenly, the hologram greeters that all these little animals they're like, welcome. We'll make this place your dream world, your paradise. The rolling balls that they're projected through, come up around these two Digimon, and they make a digital gate. And he was like, "That's a gate." He's like, "Yeah, that's the thing we came through." And Black Gatomon, or Blacktailmon, with the hat and the hoodie, kind of right behind over there, just right there. And they're like, "All right, we're going home." And as Dark Lizamon is about to go through, kind of he doesn't really look over his shoulder, just kind of turns and he says, "Sorry, human." First Digimon to ever actually say sorry. I don't count Pumpkinmon because he's like, "Oh, so we can do this instead." I don't count Mummymon because Mummymon's like, "Oh, I didn't get it." Clockmon didn't even really say sorry either. This is actually literally the first. The Digimon that kills a person is the one that actually says sorry. And so they go in. Blacktailmon did a really cool, tip of its hat before it disappears. And the other two tamers, they're free. The black flames are gone. They're exhausted because they had to stay in this one area. They couldn't move. And Angoramon only has one line for his little poem of the day, which is the winter rabbit jumping into the fire nearly escapes death. It's very true. Hiro thinks over Florizamon's words about, their monsters here, and Bokomon's words of saying, there needs to be a bridge between humans and Digimon. They did a very poor job of structuralizing what Bokomon was saying because they literally just replayed the clip where he was saying that the humans with Digimon partners can be the bridge between Digimon and humans. And the contextual is so weird in this part that I had to rewind it back. I'm like, okay, I get what they're trying to do. And even Hiro says there should be an actual bridge. We need to have a bridge between humans and Digimon. So, where was the issue I had here? So I'm trying to remember because I was holding myself back. Um, this episode, I'm giving it 3 out of 5. It's average. It's on par with what all of the episodes have been thus far. I do remember what my point was. At most, I'll give it a 3.5 because, literally because of the really good fight. Like, Gamamon being like, "No, I can do this." Runs up, turns into, what does he do? Turns into the forms that he wants to turn into, and goes and fights and everything else. I'm all on board with that. The issue I have is that these are two really strong champion level Digimon that he was able to beat on his own after finally, learning how to pick the right form for the right situation instead of it being like an instinct thing or instead of it being a roulette. Here's here's my thing. Episode 20 should have happened in episode 15, 16. Heck, even, yeah, 15, 16, or even 17. It should have happened in episode 17 because then you could have 3 full episodes of him being like, yeah, I can control this, and we're getting through stronger Digimon. I still do not understand for the life of me why we have put so many ultimate level Digimon in here that these guys cannot actually beat. Like, even you haven't even shown a low level ultimate level Digimon that they could beat. It's just all been really, really strong champions or regular champions, and then a bunch of ultimate Digimon. There's no real bad guy. See, now the implication is that Blacktailmon and Hiro's dad are throwing these like, ooh, these guys would be perfect in the human world. Chuck them on in there. That's just the appearance. And here's the crazy thing: still don't know what's going on with that Black Aquamon, right? It's just like, hey, are they just chucking Digimon into the human world and just saying, have at it? One of the cool things that Ruli did make note of was that Hiro and Gamamon really do seem like brothers. When they were, when he was cleaning them off and taking care of them, they were having fun and everything. It's a really cute part. Gamamon continues to be a cutie pie. Like, the partner Digimon aren't dumb. They don't have super extreme personalities. The uh, only one that's mildly annoying is Jellymon, and they need to stop writing her that way. Like, she's kind of grown up. Like, the first episode, she turned into Tesla Jellymon was a really good character change for her. So I don't even know what to say to that. But yeah, this is a 3 out of 5, 3.5 at most because of the fight. Just, you know, this still doesn't. It still doesn't negate my point of Digimon are being a nuisance. These guys were well-meaning, still end up killing a guy. When these creatures are not very smart, if you can physically touch everything, grab the guy, take him outside. Don't use your super special move that you know, hey, someone walks out of this, they're going to get burned up. Which, whatever happened to moves just doing damage? And then if you take enough damage, then the move might kill you. It's like, no. Oh man, once we're out, you're done. You're dead. Oh no, it hurts. It's so life or death in the show, but at the same time, the crew is just skating by. We're gonna be another 10 episodes in, and they are not going to actually have a real fight. Which I'm looking forward to getting over to the Digimon Con and hearing what they talk about with Ghost Game. Apparently, Digimon Adventure 2020, the reboot, apparently it is being dubbed. So congratulations to all of you who really need to have a dub. I always prefer subs because at least with subs you get exactly what they're trying to say. You don't get extra music that doesn't need to be there. You don't get weird sound effects because they're trying to make a scene funnier. You don't get weird stills like Digimon Adventure 1, the first one. Even as a kid, you're watching, you're like, man, why is this scene super long and an odd part? And it's not even like the stylistic episode where like Tai and Koromon come to the real world and they're like, oh, a day hasn't even passed yet. Not that one where it was super super good. It's moments like there's a fight and someone digivolves and the still is on someone's face for a long time and then they come back to it. I'm not dissing anybody that likes dubs. I'm just saying I definitely prefer subs. I love closed captions too. Closed captions are great. But regardless of all that, average episode, really good fight. I'm hoping they at least give me another good fight. Next episode is gonna have Arukenimon, literally a classic ultimate level Digimon. Somebody that gave the chosen ones a hard time in Digimon Adventure 02 Season 2. Don't know how you're gonna get out of this without playing patty cake and telling her, hey, we'll get you all the food you want, just don't eat people. I'm looking forward to watching this and just going, ha ha ha. Anyway, tell me what you thought of the episode right there in the comment section down below. Please do not forget to give me a like. These things definitely help out the channel. You know what else helps out? Give me a subscribe. We're trying to get to 200 subscribers, so don't forget to click that little button right there and click the bell so you'll be notified of more videos just like this. As always, don't forget you can also share the video so show others what a great time we're having. As always, I thank you for spending some time with me. Please be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, be safe out there. It's getting crazy, but above all else, be good to yourself, be good to others, and either way it goes, don't be a jerk, and I will most definitely see you guys next time.